Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Glad you made it. Today I wanted to talk to you about a few things that are out regarding claims and chasing high value claims and really just trying to focus on the bigger percentages. If that's something that you're interested in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. For those of you that have been watching my videos, you know that I don't do a lot of, screens up, all that stuff. I'll throw the stuff down in the description below, but really I just want to talk to you directly and really just have the conversation and hopefully be able to unpack some things and create some awareness and so forth. So one of the things that I want to throw out is obviously you're going to go after any high claims that you possibly have, right? So the 50%, the 60%, 70%, whatever, on your path to 100. You absolutely need some of those if you are trying to make it to 100%. But I personally, this is just me, I personally am a fan of you better apply for everything that you have due to you. If you have a service-connected ailment, why the heck would you not file a claim for it? I don't care if it's a 0%. I don't care if it's a 10%. I don't care if it's a 20%. At the end of the day, I'm going to give you a few big reasons on why you should absolutely go after all of these claims. And I'm going to give you one right now. One is, and this is probably one of the biggest ones, you could have a small percentage claim that could be kind of a big deal thing. If you pass away from a service-connected condition or that service-connected condition is a contributing cause, okay? I actually, I'll give you a story on that in a minute. If you pass away from a service-connected condition or that service-connected condition is a contributing cause to your death, which you can get the death certificates amended and have that added in there, your spouse or dependent child would receive what they call dependent indemnity compensation, which is anywhere between $1,500 to a little over $2,000 a month of tax-free money. Okay, this is huge. So here's a story. I have somebody that I know. Husband passed away. He was a veteran, and he passed away from a heart attack. So he had a heart attack, died. That sucks. His death certificate said heart attack, cause of death, done, that's it. We looked at his service treatment record, or not his service treatment, his VA ratings. His VA ratings showed that he had a service connection for a circulatory issue in his legs. So then we went back and we had the death certificate amended and had them add the circulatory issue as a contributing cause to his death. Then we filed for dependent indemnity compensation, DIC, and guess what? It was awarded. So now the surviving spouse receives this monthly benefit in a time, quite frankly, that could have been even more stressful than it already is. This helped to kind of not alleviate the whole situation because, a death is a death and it's a horrendous thing. So, but when you compound financial issues on top of it, it can make it debilitating and very, very, you can downward spiral, right? So this is a huge benefit that you don't want to leave on the table, right? And what if this circulatory issue was a smaller rating, a 20% rating? What, don't go for it? Dumb idea, right? So that's the overall painting that I want to paint here is, and I'm going to one take Jake here. I'm going to do some funny VA math in my head and hopefully, and I didn't write it down first. So let's say that you're chasing big ratings. You have a 70% for PTSD, okay? And you have, we'll say 60% for GERD, okay? So you have a 70 and a 60. Pretty solid. Then let's say, you have one more, migraines at 50%. And so there you go. You have a 70, a 60, a 50, and your hands are in the air. You're dancing on your way to the bank. So let's say they all get granted, and they get granted at those percentages, right? So let's do the funny math. in my head. Hopefully, if I screw it up, somebody correct me, please. So 70%, the VA is going to look at all your ratings. The biggest one first, 70%. 70%. They're going to say you're 70% bad. That means you're still 30% good. Well, if you're 30% good, okay, they take your next 60% rating. In this case would be 6, 12, 18%. So 18%, because they're going to take 60% of your 30, so that's 18%, and they're going to add that to your 70. So now you're 88%. So now you're 88% bad. That means you're still 12% good. Then they're going to take your 50% rating for migraines, and your 50% migraines on your 12% is 6%. They're going to add that 6% to your 88, and now guess what? You're at 94, and it rounds down to 90. Sure would have been nice to have a 10% in there for anything, because then you would have been at 95 and floated up to 100. So there's another huge reason on why you should look for everything. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? For some of us, we had a bad go, okay? Bad experience, physically, mentally, through your time in the military, and you're getting 100% PTSD, or you got some, limb issues, you got some major problems, your hearing's gone and half your, all of that stuff, right? So maybe that path to 100% is pretty much like that. But for the others of us who have to kind of pack the snowball, so to speak, there's a little more strategy involved, right? And I personally don't believe that leaving any rating or potential rating or condition on the table is a good strategy. I think it's a horrible strategy for a bunch of different reasons, right? So again, your ratings all compound. The closer you get, the harder it is to get there. You absolutely need some big ratings. And here's another reason. So I gave you kind of two. I didn't really spell them out, but the two reasons, right, of having these ratings, I've kind of given you some stories around. So whether it's to have in the event that you pass away as a service connection, or if it's that last 10% that you need in order to flip over to the next rating schedule, right? Another reason, in my opinion, when it comes to having all of your ratings done, is really just making sure that everything's documented, because what if you have a secondary condition that comes as a result of that condition, okay? In some cases, you might not get to 100% right away. You might get to an 80. But let's say you have a couple 10% ratings in there or 20% ratings that later on, 5 years down the road, create other issues. And now you have these as the ability to hang secondary conditions on. So with that, I'll go ahead and cut it. Thanks again. Have a great one. Just wanted to shed a little light. Appreciate everybody. Remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.